The magic touch of Harry Margolis, the King of Swing, next here on BBC One Scotland. With a showbiz career spanning 6 decades now on BBC One Scotland, a right royal tribute to the King of Swing.
He's very attractive.
He's different from everybody else.
He looks as if he'd be perfectly at home in Vegas.
Really a right dreamboat, you know.
Very dapper, beautiful clothes.
He's a real eccentric, I love him. In some ways, the leader of the pack.
He's a showman, and he never forgets he's a showman. That's Harry.
Harry Margolis is one of the last big band leaders. As a true showman, he never reveals his age, but he's been Scotland's King of Swing for more than 6 decades.
I'm a musician and I'm an entertainer. I think the combination of both makes me feel that I've achieved something in my life. I always give him my best, my absolute best, because I want it to be the best. I work at it, and I work at it because I love my music.
Harry's definitely the last of the dying breed. Given his age, he's the only one who's been around in the heyday of the 40s, 50s and 60s when his style of music was really at its peak.
Over the years, I would say practically every musician in Glasgow, with excepting a few, they worked for Harry at one time or another. And a lot of them have been in consistent work with him.
He's worked for decades and decades in and around Glasgow and in London, and kept a big band together, which is a major achievement.
Every Saturday, Harry and his band draw a regular crowd to Archie's Bar in Glasgow.
We've been resident in Archie's, which was called Latache before Archie's, I've been there about 11 years. I enjoy that more so than I do playing at different functions. The atmosphere is electric. It's a crowded place, packed every Saturday afternoon. We find so many regulars going. Regular people every week just to hear us.
I've been going there for 11 years and I never miss it. I go there every Saturday. That's my regular haunt. I think I'm a bit of a groupie, the oldest swinger in town.
It reminds me of that programme Cheers, you know, you go in and everyone knows your name sort of thing, you know.
It makes you feel so welcome when you go in and it's like one big happy family.
It's a great excuse for dressing up.
I get a tremendous buzz because I know everybody's watching me, and I turn around a little just to look at the side to see some of the people, and they're all laughing away in the place. Look at all this kind of business, and it makes me feel great. Thank you very much for your vociferous. Shall Shall we say for your applause? Thank you very much.
Harry was sent to Hutchison's Grammar, where he developed an interest in music, and at 15 he started playing the double bass in a small band. He got his first break when they were offered the chance to play on a cruise ship travelling to New York.
But when I first got off the boat, I was absolutely petrified. It was New York. I mean, this was the sort of musical capital of the world. I love the American accent. The accent was one of hi kid, how you doing, man? All I knew was in Glasgow, hey, how you doing, you know? This was probably my break into music, you know, I was only about 15.
On his return to Glasgow, Harry joined the RAF Central Band, but he put his musical career on hold during the war when he served as a navigator on the Catalina flying boats. While on leave, on a night out with the lads at London's Astoria, he met his wife-to-be, Pearl.
I saw this girl. She looked lovely, you know. Oh, she had lovely legs, and she was doing the, I think it was a jitterbug, whatever they call it. And I thought, she's very nice, I must say hello to her. So I went over and said hello. Took her out a couple of times. And I got engaged to her, and eventually I married her. It was a wonderful wedding, but it was very difficult for me. I wasn't a bad-looking guy at that time, you know. And the girls used to always come round in crowds. That was finished. You see, you have to learn that that it's one or the other.
Back in Glasgow after the war, Harry started his own band and found himself in the right place at the right time.
The music scene at that time in Glasgow was tremendous. There was about 10 ballrooms in the centre of the city, and all of the ballrooms done fantastic business. Harry provided bands all over the place, parties, or you name it, Harry supplied it.
There were so many function rooms at that time. You couldn't go wrong. I mean, there was, and not only that, you had the Plaza, you had the Locarno, you had the Denison Palais, you had, there was so many places that you could get work in.
Glasgow was the dancing capital of the world.
Glasgow was fairly quiet during the day, but at night it all just came alive.
Oh, it was popular, all right. This. My goodness, I come to think of it, when we were playing Locarno, I used to queue up outside. Not particularly for me, for all of us that were there. And it was like hero worship at the time, you know.
All the women loved Harry. And he loved the ladies in a nice way. He was a charmer, you know. He made women feel good.
You were a king wherever you went there, just like the bands now.
Harry was not only successful in Glasgow, he was invited to play at top venues in London and New York, where he shared the stage with legends, including Count Basie and Fats Waller. Then came the opportunity of a lifetime, a 2-year contract in Bermuda.
Well, I could have fallen through the floor, I'll be quite frank about it. Bermuda, that's where all the top people live and all that business, you know. It was the Elbow Beach Surf Club. Another world, completely. Blazing sun, pink sands. It was like living up in heaven. It was wonderful. We lived the life of Riley because the parties we used to have there was nobody's business. Every day we're taken to jobs privately by the management to play different places, and we got to be very well known. That wonderful bands, the calypso bands, that's where I learned all my calypso music, you know.